Okay, guess we doing just fine. Said I'm not yours, so I say you're not. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Monsterlegends video. So today's video, we're going to be covering up the Water Colossal. Yes, Water Colossal is the next Colossal that will start very soon. I'm not sure when it's going to start, but it is going to come, I would say the day before the marathon. So that's going to be either in a week or in a couple weeks. I don't really know. The date is unknown. If you guys know it, let me know in the comments down below. But we're going to be covering up everything, and I'll give you guys a tip as well for this Colossal as well. So starting off with Lord of Atlantis, I wouldn't really recommend breeding this monster because it's a breedable monster. It's a permanent breedable monster. So just cross up Lord of Atlantis because you can just breed anytime you want. You just got to get the combos, right? Aside from that, we have a White Walker. I remember when this monster was like really cool looking. I mean, he still looks pretty cool, right? Like, I really like the design. Like, I was like, this monster has one of the best design. But not really a meta monster, so cross it off. Varuna. Oh god, this, I remember when this was a meta monster. This, it used to, people used to run this monster on their team like 24/7. Trust me, it was really good. But yeah, Varuna, you can cross it off. All he can do is stun. He can remove stamina and also apply stamina regen, I believe, to your team. So next, we're moving on to General Tate-Eyes. General Tate-Eyes, the only reason why you want to go for this monster would be collection purposes, and also another thing why you want to go for this monster is to save up your war coins, so you don't have to waste your war coins getting this monster or crafting it or ranking it up or whatever. So he doesn't, or she doesn't have any unlockable traits or unlockable skills. You just get all the skills already just at 100. So I wouldn't really recommend it, but once again, only if you wanna get him or her, just so you don't have to waste your war coins, and also just for collection purposes if you don't have it already. Lord Mammoth, I don't know why you wanna get this monster. He's an attacker. He can also apply shield. I think he's a tank. I'm not sure though. I am not 100% sure. I do have him though. I actually do. Let me show you guys this monster's skills. So he can apply daze. He can AoE damage. That's also an AoE daze as well. AoE damage again. What else do we have? 40% shield and 40% life with damage boost. Freeze to one enemy with heavy water damage. So it's really up to you guys if you want to go for him, but not a meta monster. I wouldn't really recommend it. Moving on, who else do we have? By the way, all these monsters that I've covered up so far are breedable, and I'll let you guys know which ones aren't breedable and stuff like that. Cavenfish. Cavenfish was another old meta monster, but not anymore. What can this monster do? Well, stun, freeze, and what else can he do? I really forgot. Let me go ahead and take a look at this monster's skills. So Cavenfish is right here. He can give precision, damage boost, and stamina regen. Low special damage, freeze, AoE freeze, like I said, AoE stun, and also 50% chance of freezing, daze, slowing down the enemy, and also applying damage reduction. And I think there was also something else on top of that. I don't really know, but it doesn't really matter because it's not a meta monster, right? So I wouldn't really recommend breeding him, just for collection purposes, sure. Kaliach, what could this monster do? Well, this monster could apply immune to daze, I think it was. She can freeze. She can also stun. Yes, she can freeze, she can stun. What else can she do? Daze to one target, immune to freeze, stun, daze, gives precision and stamina regen. I wish that also removed all the negatives with the cold blood skill. That would have made it a bit better. But is it a meta monster? Not so much, no. I wouldn't really recommend it. So don't breed it. Only collection purposes. Spyronus. Spyronus was in the most recent 72-hour challenge. You should have picked this monster up. If you didn't, I wouldn't really worry about it because it's not a meta monster. This monster can freeze, he can stun, and also stamina drain. I think it's a he, I'm not sure. Anyways, Anton or Acorn or whatever, not really a big fan of it. I really forgot what he does, but you don't have to worry about it because it's not a meta monster and it won't help you out. Maybe in the beginning of the game, just for like a week or so, it'll help you out get to your top leagues in PvP, but later on you want to switch it up with mythics or better monsters. It could be legendaries as well. Prisoner. Prisoner, I own this monster, but I never actually hashed it. Never hashed it. Not a big fan of it. It is outdated, so forget about it. Hydra the Forgotten. I don't have this monster, but if I do get it, it'll just be collection purposes. He has a really good trade, or she actually, I don't really know. But this monster has the Bulwark trait, so all the status effects have a 50% less accuracy against all monsters with this trait, basically. So 50% status caster, right? They have less accuracy against them. But yeah, do I recommend breeding it? Not really. Only for collection purposes. Nidaria. So Nidaria, another breedable monster, permanent breedable monster. So I wouldn't really worry about it. You can just forget about it. Blob is another breedable monster thanks to Team AFK. It was a couple of years ago, I think it was. They got up to 100 laps, I think it was, or more than 100 laps. But they reached a specific amount of laps, and what socialpoint did was they messaged them and said, you can either make a monster breedable, or it was another option. I don't know what the other option was, but they chose this, and they made this monster permanently breedable for everyone in the game thanks to them. So yeah, you can pick this monster anytime you want. Frostbite. This monster used to be really good. It used to be a meta monster, but now it is outdated. By the way, he can freeze. I think he can AoE freeze, right? He can also stamina drain if I remember correctly. I wouldn't really recommend breeding him, not anymore, especially against mythics nowadays. Today's pet, you can just pick it up anytime you want, or not anytime, but whenever it's out in the team shop, it'll come around and you can pick this monster up. One reason why you want to pick it up would be for collection purposes. The other one would be just to save up your war coins, so you don't have to waste those war coins, you know, on this monster. Same thing with General Tadice, like I mentioned earlier, and that actually applies to every single one of the water war monsters, team shop monsters. Frostwrath, he can actually freeze. That's one of his skills. I don't own it right now. I actually have him. I have his egg, but I never hatched it because I don't have space. If they make space, I will start hatching every single one of my legendary monsters, every single one of my possibly even epics. I actually sold a bunch of epic monsters and stuff like that just because I don't have space. Like right now on my storage, I have about 1,400, I think 1,400 eggs, if not like around 1,200 eggs, and the rest are just like, I don't know, these statues and other things. But yeah, take a look at this. Let me show you this real quick. Let me go ahead and go with legendaries. Wait, what? I chose, oh, the book. I don't even know what happened, honestly. Let me go back. What the heck? Okay, there we go. Okay, take a look at it. I have all these legendary monsters, and the only reason why I don't hatch them is because I don't have space, or else I'll start hatching them. And getting into that one point where I told you guys, I'll give you guys a tip, right? So all your water monsters that you have, all your water legendaries, I need you to start hatching them. So for me, Frostrat and Prisoner, I'll have to hatch them soon because I'll need them in the breeding for sure. So make sure you start hatching your water monsters. That's a tip that I can give you for the upcoming Colosal. So you still have time. Just make sure to do it whenever you can. Getting back to reviewing this, right? So let's go back to legendary water. Okay, we left off somewhere around here. H20 Delirious. If you're a fan of Vanos friends or crew, right? You might want to get it just for that. The monster is outdated now. Unfortunately, he's not a meta monster anymore. I never owned him. He came out a couple of years ago. I remember the Vanos treehouse and stuff like that. Yeah, H20 Delirious, I remember. He was actually in the breeding, but I couldn't pick it up because I didn't have the monsters. Chill Bill, not really a big fan of this monster. You know, not really a big fan, to be honest. And it's also a permanent breedable monster, so you can pick it up anytime you want. Another monster. This reminds me of the other monster that it was Nigeria, yeah. It just reminds me of that monster, but not really a big fan of it. It's not a meta monster, so you don't have to worry about it. What is his trait? her trait is possession. He needs a possession. I don't know if that'll come in handy nowadays. Mystery. So this mystery monster can possess mostly, and also I think she can stamina drain, if I remember correctly. So here is mystery. Yeah, this monster has a AoE possession, but it's a 50% chance though. 20% stamina removal. Stamina leak, freeze again, remove stamina from target. Yeah, that's how it is. That's what that monster does. Do I recommend breeding it? No, I do not. Just skip that one. Anyways, moving on to this guy. Just skip it, please and thank you. Vampirium. I remember this was a breeding monster. So it's his ultimate is kind of good because you heal by 50, remove all the negatives on yourself, I guess, or on whatever monster you apply to. Triple damage and 1 extra turn. Yeah, that could come in handy, but that's just the ultimate though. Immune to stun, not so good. So yeah, just skip Vampirium as well. Hydrotilla. Speaking about Hydrotilla, I think they made a mistake with this monster. So there's supposed to be 3 versions of Hydrotilla, and there is actually, but it's not all water. One of them is Earth, the other one is Tundra, I think. I might be wrong. I'm not sure if it's Tundra though. But they made a mistake with the Hydrotillas, and yeah, they just wanted to keep it the way it was. So yeah, it's a Nemesis monster. If you want to go for it, for collection purposes, go for it. Aside from that, we have Void, or Vadi, sorry. Vadi. This was a 72-hour challenge monster in the past. If you didn't pick it up, you don't have to pick it up again, only for collection purposes. Okay, let me save time and tell you guys this. Polarity is another one you don't want to go for. NEPS as well. Initiator, another one you don't want to go for, only for collection purposes. Kihaku, this monster can AoE freeze, AoE possess as well. I'm not sure about stun. I need to see it again. Hold on, I need to check. So, possess, freeze. Oh, he can apply stamina regen and life regen with the same on all allies. Stamina leak, and 50% chance of applying possession and freeze to all enemies. If this wasn't enough, then you got yourself the other skill. And if you want to really land it, just do one enemy and not to all, you can run this skill instead of the last one. But it's really up to you. And also stamina removal skill as well, if you want to run it, if that's what you feel like running. Aside from that, Kihaku, not a meta monster anymore, unfortunately. But I remember when he was a meta monster. Cryotin, this is a tank monster. Now we haven't reviewed all of them yet, but just letting you know, this isn't the best water tank monster, so you can just skip it. And this was also a marathon monster. This was actually a race monster before. So if you didn't pick up Cryotin, it's whatever. He'll come around again in some sort of event. Not just him, but other monsters in here that you see as well. But I don't know when they'll come out though, but probably in the near future for sure. Zimyaya, not really a big fan of it. It's not a meta monster, not so helpful now. Today's Bodyguard, here's another teamwork monster. And what did I tell you guys about teamwork monsters? The only reason you want to go for it would be collection purposes and to save up your war coins. That is the only reason. Another one that you want to just skip. Stake is a really good attacker, but against Mythics, I wouldn't really recommend running this monster. But if you're not going up against Mythics, then it's a good monster. It's a decent monster. Imigbo can AoE possess, if I remember correctly. Let me check real quick. I have it right here. Imigbo. Oh, okay. So this monster can AoE possess, AoE drowned, and this was, I think, the first monster to have the drowned effect as well. If I'm wrong, just let me know in the comments. Insane water damage. So this is a water attacker, let me tell you that. Also a denier mixed with that as well. So possession removes all negatives from all allies, applies precision damage boost and sand regen. This is a really good skill. This is a really good skill. Trait disable. Red Faraday, because you guys know Faraday has the anticipation trait, right? So when you trait disable it, you can run your extra turners with you. So that's really good there. But anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and continue on. Do I recommend running or do I recommend getting a Mikbo? Collection purposes. Sorry Mikbo if you're watching this. Or any Mikbo fans. It's just the monster's outdated. And let's say if I had a monster in the game as well and it was outdated, I would be honest with you guys and tell you guys that it's outdated. So you shouldn't really go for it unless like unless you're my fan and you want to just go for it so you have it. And also another reason would be collection purposes. So if you're a Mikbo fan and you don't have a Mikbo yet, what are you waiting for? Get him! Get him as soon as possible. Well, Mr. Talasa, this is not going to be in the breeding. So cross off Talasa. Coldorg. Not really a big fan of this monster to be honest. Although, take a look at this. Gives immune to freeze, status caster, dodge area. So you'll have dodge area as well. Wish you. That's a really good thing to have. Other than that, his skills are somewhat decent, but I don't think he can compete against mythics. I wouldn't really recommend getting him, only collection purposes. This is another monster with dodge area, which I love, but it's outdated. It is outdated, so maybe skip it. Now moving on to Gorg. Gorg, okay, and from Gorg, it's gonna get spicier and spicier, trust me. So Gorg is an elite monster, and this is a really good attacker. The only reason why I recommend you guys getting this monster would be because of his trait. And what does his trait do? Well, immune to freeze and status caster area shock. So area shock in the beginning of the battle to the enemies, that'd be good because if you're gonna go up against any extra turners, including mythics, right? Any extra turner mythics, like for example Nor or whatever, right? Nightingale. What else? What is that one other monster? It's like a owl looking monster. I remember, no, I forgot his name. I forgot the monster's name. Hold on. What is the monster's name? What is the monster's name? Oh, Rara Avis. Yes, so Rara Avis is another one. Any other extra turners? I don't see any other extra turners. Maybe Krusty, but not really. Mostly the pure extra turners like Nor, Nightingale, and Rara Avis, I'd say. But other than that, yeah, that is what it is. So yes, I recommend getting Gorg for sure. If you don't have it, get it. Hokwai. Okay, so this monster was so good before. It used to be one of the best meta monsters because of his trait. He has two traits, by the way. He has immune to control. He has immune to anticipation, or not immune to anticipation. Sorry, he has anticipation itself. And against extra turners, it's really good because even if you apply cooldowns and you try running him extra turner, well, you can do one attack, but he'll get the next turn because of anticipation. And let's say you're thinking like, oh, he's gonna charge up, it's whatever. No, he actually has a skill that requires no cooldown. So here's the thing: do I recommend running or getting this monster? Maybe. It is good against extra turners because you have the 0 cooldown skill and it's a pure attacker. And also the anticipation trait, very good with the immune to control. Yeah, heck yeah, but not the best. It's not as good as it used to be honest. So I'd say like a 50-50 on this monster. It's just that it's my opinion and I'm not a big fan of it anymore. So earlier when I told you guys that there's a better tank monster than Kryten, well, let me introduce you ISO. This is the best water tank monster at the moment, just for legendary. For mythics, I don't know. Are there any water tanks for mythic? No, not as I know. Oh, there's Kotor. There's Kotor. So, but Kotor is just a taunt, right? It's just a tank taunt. The other monster is a mega taunt, right? So, yeah. Getting back to the legendaries, for ISO, it's let's just say legendaries because some people are gonna be like, oh, you know, they're gonna get mixed up with the Kotor and ISO, and it's just gonna start a huge problem. So let's just say for legendaries, this is the best take monster as a water element base. Yeah, so you get taunt in the beginning, you already have it unlocked, but if you could get this monster to rank 3, you get Status Caster Mega Taunt in the beginning of the battle. So first you have to remove the Mega Taunt, and then you have to get rid of the taunt trait. So you have to get rid of two stuff. And if you're running a Mana Fusion, for example, to remove these, and then the enemy team is running this with, let's say, Ragnarok or any other monsters with Anticipation trait, well, you're kind of doomed, you know? I still see this monster being used by some players in Legendary League, but they're just starting to replace this monster, unfortunately. So I'd still recommend getting him, but that's only if you don't waste too much gems and stuff, because he's not really worth too many gems as it was before, if that makes sense. So he could still be used against the current meta, but not as it used to be before. So yeah, it's kind of sad that most of these monsters used to be like the meta monsters back then, including Varuna, Cave and Fish and stuff, but now they're just useless. They're sort of useless, or mostly useless I should say. Ursus has a pretty adorable baby design, and the thing with this monster is that what makes this monster really good is his pierce skills. His pierce skills, let me tell you that. Yeah, so take a look at this. By the way, he's an attacker, so he applies pierce to itself, very heavy special damage to an enemy, applies bleed to all enemies, removes pierce right away. You also get evasion, double damage, precision as one of your skills. AoE freeze. No wait, sorry, not AoE freeze. The freeze is just for one enemy. But then the damage is to all. Removes positives, deals very heavy special damage to an enemy, applies bleed. So yeah, it's mostly an attacker. Getting into what's after Ursus. Krabby Droid won't be a breedable monster, so cross this out as well because it's a Forsaken. Phrase Rot. So Phrase Rot, the only thing I really like about this monster would be his trait. So you already have a dodge area unlocked straight away at level 1. You don't have to rank it up to unlock anything. You get stamina regen at rank 1, immune to freeze at rank 3. So another thing is, I am not a big fan of his design. I never liked the design, to be honest. I never liked his design, to be honest. But other than that, I never owned it. But is it a meta monster? Not so much, to be honest. Not so much. The best monsters, now that I reviewed all the legendary monsters and everything like that, including some of the elites, right? Let me tell you this, the best ones you want to actually go for would be ISO, Gorg, Hokwai, and is that it? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I really recommend those. And if you want to get yourself a Nemesis that used to cost like $29.99 or something, or I forgot the price for these Nemesis monsters and stuff. But if you want to get the Nemesis that used to cost money for free, go for it for collection purposes. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button, also subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.